take it I didn't find your cure?
It's not your fault. It's all me. It's just how I am.
Do you think we'll ever meet again?
Yes.
We'll face even harsher conditions up there. The cold, the lack of oxygen.
I can do it, Marco.
Okay. Then I'll wait for you in the valley. So, it's time for farewell.
The time and the place, yeah. I suck at goodbyes.
Yeah, I've noticed. Hey! You know how they say never meet your heroes? It's nonsense! You're extraordinary!
So close. Come on. Not now! Come on, Ava. Perfect. Bring me the...
Is it working now? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jadaliers. I swear it's the Windows updates. Like I forget to check it and I go, "Oh, I'll just leave it as the Windows default." And then my OBS resets it to the default and the default is not. The default is my webcam, my webcam that I have disabled, the mic on that. But yeah, thank you very much for pointing that out. I swear to God, Windows, the never-ending battle with OBS and updates. It's true. I blame Windows more than OBS, really. because I know that I updated it last night. Yesterday, no issues with the stream. As soon as I do a Windows update, microphone stops working. And it's like the easiest fix, too. Girl, you... Please. Alrighty. Cut the rope. Goodbye. Off into space.
This is where you were meant to go.
Just floating out. Beautiful.
These skies are like nowhere else.
What a beautiful little game. Uh-oh. I don't think we're surviving that one. Did not get enough of a running jump. That's also the second time I've died there. It's actually the first time I've ever seen what happens if you actually fall in this game. Oh yeah, that's me. I'm here to show all sorts of world firsts out on this stream. What happens if you just beef it and fall down the mountain? Ooh, he's actually got good food here. I want this trout if I can fit it. This is the Karen experience. Ooh, an item. How much do I need to shake my bag to fit it in? How much can I get away with shaking it? How quick can I mash through everything? What's the cooked trout? Herbal cooked trout? Okay. Too bad lemons don't grow. Oh. I need to go fishing this year. Gotta catch some trout. Or at least see about catching some trout. What a delicious fish. Where's the memory room? I have some origami to show off. Old climbing mountain. Old climbing magazine. Nothing will stop me. Certainly not Cami Summit. Read our special feature on renowned climber Damas Al-Fatri as he prepares for his biggest expedition to date. Goat milk. Mmm. Hang on, what do I have in my thermoses? We got hot herbal coffee. Yeah, both of those are fine, actually. We'll just drink the goat milk. The drinky?
A collection of us.
I can really just loot everything in here? The loot gremlin dream, baby. Lentils and ham, dehydrated soup.
That's a lot.
This is a ton of backpacks.
You'll be better off here with your friends.
There's the origami. I knew I was carrying it around for a reason. At least it clears up a little bit more space. could put some soup. Soup in the water. My big soup. I'm going big soup mode. Also re-equip the good pitons. I'll make it fit, I swear. I swear I'll make it fit. Now to make the soup fit. Yes. Any other backpacks to look through? But yeah, yesterday, no issues with OBS. No issues. Ooh, more climbing tape. I do need to make space for that. We're running a little low, and this seems like the last little bastion of resupply. My right bumper is already broken a little bit. Let's just break it a little bit more. Why not? Get rid of this fruit jelly. I'm not gonna need it. I already have enough food in here. I don't need food with the downside. Come on. I wonder if I can trip balls on the way to the top of the mountain. Okay, we'll come back for that. Let's just double check what else there is, too. More scraps. Powdered milk. Oats. I think we want the climbing tape. If we can fit the oats, perhaps. It's these big-ass bottles at the top that are definitely not helping. Just cram it all down. It always rise. These big bottles always rise to the top. I probably don't need 2 of them. But what if? What if I could fit all of it in? I'm gonna get to the top and my backpack is still gonna be mostly full, I swear. Which one does this do? A temperature boost? And the oats are pretty big. Come on. Come on, we can make this fit, right? This is just like in Resident Evil 4 where you're just like, "Oh, I have so much ammo. My juice too steaky, my butter too lobstery. My backpack's full of grenades. Well, might as well throw them all at enemies. Or sell them, but then again, selling the grenades feels a lot worse. You get so much money if you actually do the side content. Oh, that's reminding me of just how groovy the new Resident Evil 4, the RE4 make is. Specifically the gun game in that. I need to play Requiem. I think that's gonna be on the list of games to play. Is that one still $60 or is that $80? Did they make did they make one of those actually? Okay, let's fill up our bottle with goat milk too. All right, we'll say goodbye to Marco real quick. This time I will not be falling off.
I take it.
All right, and back we go. This time let's not beef it instantly. Oh wow, that is a creepy ass goblin cave. I did not notice that coming in. I appreciate appreciating the little things as you come into them. A goat. Man, I love
What's the old man up to?
aminals. Being so isolated as he must be up here. Even just experiencing people this high up, like any brush with humanity has got to feel so much better. Even if he does have to scare you or attempt to scare people.
You'd be surprised how high wild goats can climb. But no, I'm doing another kind of hunting. Here you go. Further left. Lift up.
We have anybody hanging right now? Am I stupid?
A little higher.
Just a smidge. Ah, there they are. How long have they been hanging there for?
What happened?
The same thing that happens every time. He didn't listen to me. And failed.
Well, how long has he been stuck like this?
13 days.
Sheesh.
He only died the day before yesterday, though. I've been watching him since he fell. It looked like his shoulder was dislocated, but he suffered in silence.
Why didn't you try to help him?
That's what I'm doing now, kid. Helping. With this. The rifle offers a dignified death to climbers who find themselves in this predicament. No one should be left dangling like a disjointed puppet. It's obscene.
True.
So I am cutting the rope by shooting at it, and the mountain becomes their final resting place.
It's terrible.
That's what I do, kid. That's the way it is. I'm not saying that this is very useful. I'm just saying that we need to respect the dead.
True.
You want to take
A very wise old
I'm getting
man.
old.
I love his
isn't
fanny
what it
pack,
used to be.
actually. Sure.
Got it.
Point and shoot, baby.
Makes me sick.
Makes me
Don't
sick.
know how to
Girl.
do it. I gotta get going. Farewell, Damus.
The kid showed you the cemetery, didn't he? Wasn't that enough? I knew it would take more effort to convince you than the boy.
It's been 12 years, Damus. You can remain here forever in this purgatory you've created for yourself. But let me go. You've had a good run. But it's my turn now.
I don't think...
I won't leave you hanging like a broken mannequin. I will render your corpse to the mountain, as I did with the others.
Sheesh. Well, might as well cook up some stuff while I get the opportunity to do so. Goat milk and milky milk. Go goat milk and yeah, goat milk and oats. Creamy. We'll just store that. I don't know when I'm gonna get the opportunity to actually rest again. So we'll just do everything that we can. Milk and soupy milk? Milky soup? Yeah, sure. Milky soup. Creamy soup. Right? Yeah, there we go. Nice and filling. I think that's the last that we really have here. This is definitely going to be an interesting route. Start on the left here. Ascend through the ice. Yeah, I think there's something here. Seems basic enough. It's all about getting the legs under you. The hell is that leg placement? Isn't it fascinating thinking about just how different games have shown, like, just truly influenced the evolution of gaming as a whole? Like QWOP, for example. QWOP definitely has had an influence on this game. Just climbing QWOP. How do you sell that to people who have never, like, heard of video games before? Like, don't know sort of the history of gaming. Like, it's a newer art form. And I'm so curious what, like, 100 years from now, what will be the games that are really remembered? Because, like, you know, we got, like, Pac-Man, we got Tetris, we got some of the big ones from, like, the 70s and 80s. Donkey Kong, like, the originals. This new art form that's so dependent on, like, electronics. Like, we're just, like, painting, that art form that's been around forever. And, like, abstract, we have all of these different sort of veins of culture through, like, I'll say traditional art forms, such as, like, performance, theater, opera. you know, all of these very standard, air quotes, art forms. Like cinema, also a very young art form. But the tech just keeps evolving. And with it, the medium grows and expands. I find it so interesting. Like, gaming as an art form is even younger. Movies, like 100 years. Gaming? Or what, like 50? Yeah, we're a little over 50 at this point.
Great.
As long as we can stay on the rock, I feel pretty good about our journey up here. The hardest parts will be getting spots where we can get our batons back. Maybe climbing that ice spire there would be a good route. Let's see if we can make our way over there, actually.
Oh, yes.
I know I can be a little insufferable talking about this. If you watch my stuff previously, I am always talking about art and, like, art form. Gaming, they even came up with some of the most brilliant stuff very early on. For example, how simple a game of Tetris is. Ugh. Tetris. Just a phenomenal game, and it's so simple too. Like, you can show somebody that has never played a video game before Tetris, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I just place the blocks. I place the blocks and I learn how to optimize my pathing for it. Well, pathing. Optimize my block placements. Yeah, and somehow it draws you in for hundreds of hours immediately. It's so... There are very few things that, like, are so immediately enthralling as a game of Tetris. I mean... Crack, maybe? You can very much see how people would immediately become like, oh yeah, I love video games. You get shown the right kind of game at the right time in your life, and you get it. Which is the same for all art, I would say. Like, Disco Elysium changed my life for the better, I would like to think. That's one of those kinds of games that, like, people, you don't have to be good at gaming to love so many of the different story-based games. Like, people laud the walking sim. They hate it. They hate the idea of, like, just a story-based game that you have very little actual influence over. But I find that some of the most interesting stuff is stuff that you don't need that prerequisite reading. Yeah, we'll sidle over and then climb the ice here.
Here we go. again.
Like, this game, if you have never played a video game before,
Almost.
you're gonna have difficulty. If you don't, like, if you understand rock climbing fundamentals, I think you could very easily get it. But that does have that does turn it into a sort of required reading aspect, if that makes sense. Like, sure, you don't. Some of the best art is stuff that is like builds upon all of this previous art that came before it. Like, with movies, you get the Citizen Kane appreciators. And all of these different, like, shots that are references to all of these other shots in all of these other big-name movies. But I find that having approachability is important to really grow a medium. Okay, how do I get over there from here? Like, getting up from where I'm staked isn't too hard. One trend I've noticed is people had a favorite game as a kid, and once they grew up, they are now developing improved versions of those games. Oh, yeah. Like, I've probably, like, a little over 1,000 hours in Binding of Isaac. That game, based off of Legend of Zelda. Like, original Legend of Zelda. But it has its own spin on it. Like, there's so much going on with it. Uh-oh, avalanche time. Okay, where do I go from here? I have no leverage with my legs. Gotta find somewhere to actually develop that.
It's too risky. Watch out! Avalanche! Hurry up, Lava.
Binding of Isaac really is another game that it's so easy to throw 1,000 hours into because it's so simple. Like, you play it and you're like, I don't get it. Or you get it instantly and you're like, I'm hooked. It's the challenge. It's the fact that every run is a little bit different. But it's got...
Shit, another one. Faster!
It's got the big hook of replayability. And like the story is relatively simple, and it's given to you piecemeal for sure. And that's part of the appeal for some people. Like, you feel like you really have to earn it. Uh-oh.
Watch out! Another one! Move it, Arthur.
Not the leg. I have zero faith in this. Gotta sidle where I can here.
Watch out!
Some roguelikes really did the formula well. Each run feels different, and the possibilities feel almost endless. Oh yeah, like, I'm a huge roguelite enjoyer. Like, Binding of Isaac definitely has had a huge influence on my game taste. That and probably Terraria,
It's happening again.
KOTOR, original KOTOR. Although KOTOR 2, I played it on original Xbox, and that game was broken as hell. And I think it really detracted from my enjoyment because of just how broken it is. Although I don't necessarily fully blame Obsidian for that one.
I can't take much more.
Get your leg up, girly. Not that way. I really enjoyed Hades 2 and Hades 1. Hades 1 I have like 300 hours in.
This has to stop soon.
And that game really only, it ends after, the content really ends at like, I'll say 100-ish hours. Although you can get a variety of different things. Like, if you're hunting for very specific things. You definitely have that possibility to...
I can't take another one.
There we go. Oh, sorry. Brain... All of the brain power spent on that. Uh-oh. Everything... Oh. That's a significantly worse.
What the hell am I doing here? Did you pull me into the tent?
Climbot. We love you, Climbot.
Hello? Anyone? Damas, did you follow me here?
Not as much as you did, but I also have 70 or so hours in it. Okay, 90 hours. That's like all of the content. Did you really
take me to safety?
I played another 200 some odd.
Wow. You've had a rough time. You gonna be okay?
200 some odd hours of it because it was just that much fun. 100% achievements and then highest heat statue. Yeah, that's more than enough. Do we need to tape up? I think we're good for now. Just get rid of this. All right, well, I think we can make another. Which was it? Can't remember. 32 heat or 40? I think it's 32.
One step at a time, Arthur. Fuck.
Just that wall alone has probably killed so many people. What is this? Yeah, the 32 heat statue, not easy. That plus, I think I ended up doing all of the... Oh, we're seeing a mirage. I think that'll be it for now. We still have a lot more mountain to climb here. Definitely took some doing. I think I did the one where you get the one choice where you get one boon with no choices. Requires a bit of restarting too. Oh yeah. That's one of the things about the roguelites is like there's very much an element of how much skill do you have? How much skill do you have to showcase in this run in order to actually succeed? Something I find to be a fascinating part of
Not just yet.
that game design as well. Just each run requires so much, like, varying level of skill just to get yourself off the ground. Often a lot of skill is making whatever you get in the run work, but sometimes you got to accept that this was not the run. It's true. Like a major portion of it I think I had like my highest streaks in Hades 1 are like 40 streaks. Something around 30, 40. But every now and then I would run into a run where it's just like, I'm not playing well and I don't have good RNG. Have you played either Risk of Rain? Yes, I actually backed the original Risk of Rain on... It was not Kickstarter. It was pre-Kickstarter. I think it was their website. And they emailed me a code that I could do on Steam once the game came out. They gave me the early access demo code and then also the...
Need a break.
the regular launch code. Those two, to me, are examples of games where the starts are just so bad that you might as well restart the run. Fully agreed. That game, those games are like true roguelites. I think we go for the ice here. There's a bit of a difference in rolling a ukulele or ATG missile or whatever to start instead of like a cautious slug and a red whip. Yes. Like, damage is key. If you don't get items that give you damage, you're done. And Binding of Isaac... Like, Binding of Isaac is my go-to example of this because it was one of the ones that I played the most. Like, I really like Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 1, in hindsight, it's a lot harder for me to sit down and enjoy because of that that difference right out the gate. Especially first game, I often felt like the game insanely gated me out of the run because you didn't get any damage. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Having no damage just compounds into more and more shit because it takes longer and longer to get through a stage. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, you understand. You understand what the fundamentals of Risk of Rain are. It's you kill everything instantly, or you slog your way through until you get one item that's good enough to carry you. Like, you have to get lucky enough to get a red somewhere in there, or it's just like, okay, this run's done. It's like clinging on to hope until there is no more hope. And Isaac definitely offers that same sort of thing where it's like, okay, I have the HP, but the HP only matters if I'm not taking a ton of damage every single fight. Like, I'm a very methodical Isaac player as well, because I love, like, breaking the game and feeling like I actually have that I'll say seam to pull on. I think I used to have 300 hours, have around 300 hours in a Risk of Rain 2. Used to have 100%ed. Oh yeah, that's one of those games that hang on, do I not have my... I don't have those equipped, do I? Why did it auto unequip those? Anyways, I also had quite a few of the achievements completed in that way as well. I really spent so much time just going for it. But that was also during COVID. It's a couple DLCs ago. Didn't go back for the latest two, at least. Even hunted all the monster and achievement and environment logs. Dude. And the environment log for the mushroom stage. Those... That was my big issue with... with the Risk of Rain, is just like... One, very much RNG dependent. And yeah, that's like... That's what it takes. Sure, you can be good enough to get it all done in time, but it's damn hard. Wow, I really can't see anything. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Risk of Rain 2 achievement hunting, like going for all of the alt skins. I don't remember what my achievement completion is on that. I think I was pretty close to done. I had this sort of it's silly to say in hindsight. I had this like rival mentality with somebody of just like, oh, they're talking about how hard, like how far they've gotten in it, and I was like, I can do that too. If they're doing it, I can do that too. We got another lip on the left here. We can at least stop off. But yeah, just getting all of the achievements and the alt skins. Like, there are some characters I obviously liked more than others. Very much a bigger fan of, like, the mercenary and the loader. Like, the melee characters are just that much more interesting to me. What do we have back here? Nice little ice cave. This would be an ideal place to melt some snow. This is probably the purest water you're gonna get in the entire world. You know what? Let's take a sip of that. Is there anything I'm missing here? Focus too? What? Where am I? Where else would I get focus from? I think we do take that. Pop every boost that we can get. Shake the troglodyte doll. Might as well use it where we can. Hang on, there's an achievement that I'm missing as well for... I wanna hunt for that just a little bit. What's the... It's have every ability on you? Cook the ultimate infusion. Burst, grip, extra grip, focus, and grit. Extra grit? Extra grip? Where do you get extra grip from? I mean, might as well take the soup, right? There we go. It's from the chalk. Mix energy drink with mash again. What's up, Bo? How's it going? We are all sorts of doped up to get onto the top of this mountain. Bo, I hope that your ISP issues aren't lingering as much as they were previously. How did that end up resolving? Good, I hope. Less frustrating than just calling it a night. Now that is always the most frustrating thing. Like, oh yeah, instead the entertainment equivalent of going to sleep instead of eating dinner. Especially if you've had a long day. It just feels terrible. Is my light not working too? Come on. There we go. Actually up the mountain. Just that avalanche alone The game says, hey, you're going into hard mode. Last saved 11 minutes ago. Okay, well, let's make sure not to fall then. Man, I cannot imagine actually trying to climb with your legs up like this. It's crazy. What was I talking about? You know, does it really matter? Oh yeah, I was gonna complain about Windows. Man, Windows, it just keeps getting worse. I swear the last like 10 years or so, there's always a Windows update that people are like, oh good, the Windows update broke something again. And then on top of that, the Windows 12 news of like, this Windows 12 will be an AI based what's it called? Windows 12 will be an AI based modular platform, but it's like, I don't want AI. I don't want this shit like being a common element of my OS. I'm to the point where I'm like, I think Windows 11 is going to be my last Windows operating system unless they really make some serious changes. Like they have the market share, but Mac has been competitive. Mac actually has games on it too. Like, I'm not saying I'm switching to Mac OS, but I'm definitely gonna be looking at at Linux as like a genuine alternative. I wish someone finally took over a relevant slice of the OS market. For real. Like, I came of age around the time Windows 8 was out, and I was like, what the hell? I'm just not gonna get a new computer because I was gonna get a laptop for college, and they just decided to put out Windows 8, which sucks. Just like, oh yeah, you want your OS to look like a tablet even though you're not using a tablet. Like, come on, man. Guess Linux is good enough if nothing else. Something doesn't work on that, I'll just play something else. Yeah, it's just like, okay, if it has like root anti-cheat or whatever, I'm not gonna play that. I don't need something I don't need something that goes through my directory to tell me, oh yeah, you're gonna cheat. Okay. I'm just not gonna play the game. I don't need to deal with kernel anti-cheat. There's already so many things trying to sell my data. Windows has become such crap, and like you said, AI stuff is the final straw for me. Yeah, like I'm not paying for the privilege of you making a garbage OS. Like Windows 11 pisses me off to no degree because they made a new right-click menu that hides the real right-click menu. I have to click more options to go to the right-click menu that there already was. Why did we add that? Who does this benefit? General problem with all website stuff as well. Nowadays, they're made for tablets even though you're on a PC. Yeah, like the appification of everything just annoys me to no end. Was that somebody else up there? Hello?
Marco, is that you? Marco!
Yeah, why the fuck is that a thing? I don't know. The right click, like, I've been a Windows user my entire life, and it just gets worse and worse. Another thing is just seeing new messages on Steam, etc., because the mark for them is, for some reason, is just so small. Yeah. It's like, okay, it flashes a little bit, or like I can barely see that I have other tabs now. Why do I need, why is it like that? The right-click options menu thing is such stupidity that it's impossible to comprehend. I don't get it. Like, what reason do we have for that? To add more options? You can do that in the options already. I've done minimal GUI design myself. Oops. You know, I'll just go around. I was going that way because it was a little easier, but... this is the easier route. It's just like, you have the option to just add what you're adding to the menu that already exists. And I think it's just like, what, 30-ish years of developer bloat? Just make a new fucking OS. Just take all of the... have somebody go into it. Like, sure, it's going to take a while to actually design, but you have people that are passionate and want to make a difference in this space. You're one of the biggest, like, market shares in the United States in the first place. You can take a little bit of time and a little bit of money, and you can dedicate that to making a product that people actually want. Because, like, Windows is just a shit stack on top of a shit stack on top of a shit stack, and it's we're reaching the top of the stack. You're not going to be able to pile anything else on there. You got to make something new. But apparently the American complex, sorry, I get very heated about this stuff. The American complex is, okay, we don't want to put any amount of money into something that might not do as well as if we just put a new coat of paint on something that already exists. It's like, what happened to ingenuity? What happened to actually, like, creating new things? What happened to doing things other than just placating shareholder profit margins? Some of the best creations come from people that actually want to, like, make changes. People that come into new things. Like, computer science as a field is what, like 70 years old-ish? And it feels like the last 20 or so, we haven't had anything new.
Come on. Look alive, buddy. Oh. Let's get back to it. Come on. Oh.
Even our robot is reaching the end of his rope. Truly ascending to the top of the world is it's a difficulty for sure. Anyways, like Linux I love because it's so modular. It's whatever you want it to be. you make it in, like, sure, there's a lot of trial and error to actually making it work. But we live in a time where it's easier than ever to learn new things and become better at what you are doing. Like, sure, I can just make I can do virtual machine stuff for Windows. Although RAM is at an absurd price now because of the AI bubble. I ended up spending an insane amount of money on this PC. Like, 2 years ago, all of the money would have gone into the graphics card and, like, the CPU. Now the fact that all memory, like RAM especially, RAM was the cheapest part. RAM was, I got my spouse like 64 gigs of laptop RAM for like $200 in 2024. It took like 20 minutes to install. And we were done. And it was great. Like, that was fantastic. I was like, oh yeah, I understand what it takes to do the bare fucking minimum. What are her stats looking like? I'll take that. Drink some soup. Take the anti-inflammatories too.
It's freezing.
Really climbing through the snow pile, huh? Getting all the way up here is definitely pushing our capabilities as a mountaineer. I can understand why there are so few people that have even really attempted to do this. But yeah, like Linux, sure, it's a harder software platform to use, but if you have any
You're back. You're back. Good.
if you have any buddies that are in tech and like work with Linux at all, or even just like anybody that's ever tried using Linux, like YouTube, college, what is it? YouTube University? Is that the one that people refer to all the time? YouTube University is the place to learn things now. Like, I swear I've learned, or at least been able to execute on things just as much from YouTube as from my college courses. And I'll tell you, YouTube was a hell of a lot cheaper. Are those boxes? Or just rocks? Those look like rocks. But yeah, it's just like, why do we have all these insane ways to try and like propagate software that sucks, and we know sucks? We don't need to continue using stuff that we know sucks. Like, earlier today, I deleted Spotify. I deleted my Spotify account because everything that company does, I'm against at this point. Like, the only thing I'm not against is discovering new artists, but I can do that through so many different means nowadays that it's like, why would I give them my money for them to shove it into more AI stuff or whatever the hell their AI is, to make AI music, to continue to cut out the middleman of like humanities as a whole. Come on. There we go. I don't want AI making music because, or making the music for me. Like, sure, use the AI to make like backing tracks or whatever, like things that people iterate upon, like very basic stuff. But even then, I'd rather have a real person playing an instrument because it shows human mastery of something rather than these like endless attempts to make... What the hell? Uh-oh. I guess we'll just keep climbing the ice. Give me more soup. Oh, give me more of the daiquiri, too. Sure, let's hit the... Let's hit it crazy style with the mountain. I'll eat the hallucinogenic mushrooms. What the hell? Why not? But yeah, I want to like keep the humanities in the human and humanities. I swear I go on this rant like every other week, but I'm not using Spotify because I want to actually own my music now. Like, I was just talking the other day about how I want to get into vinyl. Just because it's so... it's so interesting as an audio platform. I just love the idea of becoming an audio head that actually does vinyl. Been agreeing on what you're putting down. Just been washing my mead bottles with the wireless headphones on. Yo, you're drinking mead? Or are you like making mead? When you say mead bottles... But yeah, I'm a huge proponent of keeping people. More like a fermented soda than a mead. Oh, that sounds good. Is it like a ginger bug type deal? I keep meaning to make like a ginger bug for myself and my spouse, but yeah, kind of like that. Uh-oh. A bit simpler, but pretty much the same idea. Do tell. I've been trying to learn a little bit more about that kind of stuff. Like, I love ginger. It's just a little bit expensive. to fail making ginger bugs, and I want to actually dedicate a little bit more time to that. Dedicate a little bit more of my energy into that. Because I love to cook. I love to spend time in the kitchen. Yesterday I made a soy riso and very leaky soy riso tofu cabbage meal. And I feel like it came out, like, it's a little bland, but you add a little bit of lime to it, comes out fantastic. Take a 10-liter bucket, dump 500 grams of regular sugar, 500 grams brown sugar, 4 liters boiling water, and lemon from 2 oranges and 1 lemon. Juice from... Okay, let's make sure not to fall again here. 4 liters cold water, just the smallest bead of yeast. Ooh! How much energy does it take? Like, how long does that last you? Let it be in the bucket for 24 hours before you bottle it. So it sounds like a fermented simple syrup. Make a batch every 2 to 3 weeks. Do you add anything else to it, or is it just kind of like a fermentation base? It's a celebration drink that is meant for a specific day of the year when everybody makes it, but I just do it all year round. I mean, why not? My thought on that is, yeah. The only thing stopping you is you. A couple of raisins. Ooh. That says to me... Now, I'm gonna... This is just a wild guess here. Are you Scandinavian? Or is this more of a Europe thing? Because the gram says to me, Graham says to me somewhere in the EU. Yeah, I'd say that was a very good guess. Yes. Food guesser has been paying off. That's something I've kind of been priding myself on lately. I try not to toot my own horn too much. But learning, like, food origins and, like, food... like, food culture has been a very big interest to me. Partially because I'm interested in anthropology, but... just, I love the idea of, like, guessing where things are. Raisins are pretty much just meant to tell you when the drink is ready because they rise to the top. Oh, okay. I never would have guessed that. I thought that would be purely for flavor. Started even making some of the food I see on Food Guesser. Oh yeah. Like it's very much been something that's inspired me to try and like integrate more stuff into my own food. Funniest thing about it is not having any idea if it came out as good as it's supposed to because you've never tasted the food before. Yes. like I started trying to do some like experimental cooking using more of a Thai Indian base of like onion, ginger, and then tempering that. And I'm like, this is pretty good. Like if you do some Asian cooking or something, you have literally no idea what it's supposed to taste like. Yeah. I find that a lot of Asian cuisine, like you get that that sort of sweet and sour taste because they do tend to use a lot of vinegar and like a lot of umami in that way. Come on, we're at the top here. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, just the whole cooking exclusively from a recipe, I find it very interesting. Mostly because yeah, let's get rid of all this garbage too. Yeah, we'll drink the coffee too. Anyways, cooking from base principles of just like, okay, I can understand the recipe that I'm given, but how am I supposed to, like, what am I aiming for? Like, I can understand my basic cooking fundamentals and be like, okay, this is what I would push for on the taste, but what is it supposed to taste like? As long as it's good, what does it really matter? But I kind of find the idea of serving someone my jambalaya funny because it's probably not at all what it would be like in Nolan's. You know, I live in Utah, a place that is nowhere near New Orleans. And I have had so many different like gumbos and jambalayas. I've made my like the first time I had jambalaya was one that I made because I was like, I really want to try this dish, but I don't know a good place to get it. There's like I live in a food culture that really pushes for like white bread and mayonnaise, and that is abhorrent to me. I want the spice, I want the flavor. But yes, anyways, like what I made, probably if somebody from New Orleans tried it, they'd probably be like, what the hell did you do with this? But I worked from a recipe and like base ideas, and it came out in a way that I was like, you know what? Even if it's not traditional, I feel like it tastes good. It's figuring out what works for you and what works for your palate. What the approximation ends up being. As long as it's enjoyable. That's really all that matters with food. Like, you can understand the fundamentals. You can understand what it takes to make a good dish. But, we're at a weird angle here. But not knowing, like, the traditional style, like, you can have all of the instructions in front of you, but you still have to cook to taste. There's a recipe example that my spouse brings up all the time of there's this article online where people talk about like, oh yeah, my mom used to cut the butt off of the turkey and we've just kind of kept doing it. But the reason she did that was because it wouldn't fit in the pan without it. Like, the pan that she had, you had to cut the butt off the turkey. And so it's one of those instances of creativity breeds ingenuity. Not creativity. I mean, that obviously is involved, but limitation breeds ingenuity, and in doing that that blindly following, like, sure, you only have one pan. Sorry, I'm getting a little jumbled up trying to keep the train of thought and moving up the mountain. There we go.
I'm not gonna make it.
Oh.
Let's stop here, okay? I give up. Let's just go back down. All right, point taken. I'll keep going.
Do we have anything else that we can cook? No. Okay. Let's retape the fingers. Might as well. But yes, restriction breeds creativity. You only have a pan that'll fit 3/4 of the turkey. You cut off the part that people are least interested in eating off of your bird. Culture, like the jambalaya, or gumbo, comes from using filet powder, which is native to the portion of the United States that the recipe comes from. Or okra, which is a crop imported from, what is it, Africa in the Triangle of Trade, as a way to, like, help feed the African slaves that were eating the, like, it's a crop that was brought from Africa. And so it's, with jambalaya especially, you see that creativity of Black and Native American culture creating these meals where it's like, okay, well, you know, we have rice, we have peppers, we have a bunch of different meats that we can throw together. We'll make something that can feed everybody tonight. Okay, well, we use some base principles in our cooking. We make a delicious meal that keeps us going for another day. And then it comes down like, oh, what did Mom make, 2 weeks ago? Let's try and replicate that. Like, recipe books, I'm not one for using a recipe book typically because I am an ingredients-based chef typically. Like, I get what is on sale and I go, okay, what do I make with that? And I find that it flexes my, I'll say, food creativity muscles. Because I'm always learning what works with what I have. I really want it, so my my leaky meal that I talked about a minute ago was I saw leeks were on sale, so I thought, okay, how do I make that work? Oh, I see some dill. That's a decent price for like a bunch of dill. My dill ended up getting moldy before I cooked, so it was just like, okay, well, how do I end up making this something good? How do I convert this into a meal that I feel good about cooking and like feel good about serving my spouse? Because like, you know, lately, especially this last week, they've been having to put in a lot of time at work. So if they have to eat, if they have to eat something that I make, I want it to be something that they feel good about eating and that I feel good about serving. Like a big point of pride for me is my cooking, and like I definitely have a lot of things I need to improve, but I don't feel like I'm a slouch in the kitchen. Especially since I'm so used to cooking. They keep resetting my... I want to use the reusable batons. My grandpa was a master of that because he was from a time when you couldn't really waste food. Milk went sour, make pancakes out of it. Oh, I've never thought of that before. It's actually a genius idea. It comes from that mindset of, or that, through limitations breeds creativity sort of deal, where it's like, yeah, you can get rid of the milk, but you're going to be without milk. You're gonna have to make something work from it anyways. You're just down that much more matter for your meals now. Like banana bread? That's the bananas past the point of like that you would want to eat. Turn that into a delicious dessert now. And I love seeing the different... That's one of the reasons I love to play Food Guesser so much, is I see that that creativity, that ingenuity coming from limitation. You taught me so much of stuff like this. Live to be 96. That's a great role model to have, at least in the kitchen. A lot of what I've had to learn in regards to that is like watching the UK Hell's Kitchen, not Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares. I feel like the UK Kitchen Nightmares was all about like, okay, we see this failing business. What can we do? Or Gordon being like, what can we do to improve? Like, what's actually going wrong here? And one of the big things that I took away from watching that was keep the menu small, keep it simple, keep it small, keep it manageable, and like have ingredients used for multiple purposes. Me and my brother inherited his attitude of find use for stuff and don't throw it away. Sometimes not even in a good sense. We're both kind of hoarders. I feel that. Growing up, I was certainly not in a household that we could just be like, okay, I'm just going to buy X, Y, or Z. because we just don't have the money. We don't have money, so I'm not going to be able to get what I want, so I got to make what I have work, you know? Not in the way where I stored the last 8 years of newspapers in my home, but I find it really difficult to part with stuff I know has like 10% of its potential use life, like, if that. I relate to that very heavily. My family and I would be inheriting, well, ow.
What?
Here, let's see what we can make work with this. Caramel, we're really running out of water. Sorry, getting my mind oriented here. Like, I spent a lot of time trying to find uses for old things. Like, I used to be a scout, so I'd always be trying to find new ways to use things. And just like, my parents didn't do a very good job of maintaining things. So I would learn how to maintain things because it's either that or I go without. Like knives, for example. Like, I had to learn how to deal with that and like how to maintain a knife because I was so limited in my other options. I also have a habit of getting years of use out of stuff that other people have already discarded as broken. Bicycles especially come to mind as example. Oh yeah, people are so willing to throw away like an old bike that, to me, I'm like, why would I throw that away? I have so much potential use for this. Why would I? Why would I even say like, oh yeah, the bike, sure, it has like a flat tire or whatever, but that's easy enough. Oh, the chain came off? Whatever, I can put the chain back on. Handlebars are a little loose. We figure out how to make it work. It's not like fixing things is way easier than spending 40 hours earning the wage to buy a new one. And it can make you feel better about like, I'm not wasting anything. I'm living the reduce, reuse, recycle lifestyle, baby. Waste not, want not, and all that. Here, let's clip in here. I think this is an acceptable route. The ice is a little harder than I thought it was. Or thought it would be. But hey, We reach for the stars, baby. There we go. That's especially it. Just the fun of making something functional again and knowing that you further the circular economy. Yes. See, you understand. You understand where I'm coming from here. Kind of ended up studying into the field of renewable materials for those reasons as well. Yes, the disposable economy is, one, terrible for the environment. Two, terrible for your wallet. And three, just terrible for...
I'm almost there.
There we go. Terrible for feeling like yourself. Feeling like you're not just a cog in the machine. You know, I studied psychology, so I'm certainly no expert in any field regarding like harder sciences. But every time I talk to people about it, I'm like, you know, it's not going to get me big money. I just have my BA, so it's not like it's anything special anyways. But I at least feel like I know more and am able to further further myself, and in that sort of way help further other people, because I understand the basic fundamentals of like, okay, well, here's trauma, here's how we respond to that. Here's like what generational trauma will do to you. Come on, get the leg in a good position here.
Just a few more meters.
Man, we are so close to the top, actually. I'm very proud of our progress today. Oh. But anyways, like, all I have is myself. And all I can tell other people is, like, to be yourself. How to further that desire to be yourself. And I feel like I've learned a lot just about the world through being an individual that that focuses so much more on living life as a person and not just a cog in a machine, not just an individual that suffers time and time again,
What are you doing?
repeating the cycles that my parents threw at me, or like previous generations threw at me.
Chunk. Turn back on. We're almost there. I can feel it. Oh, please. One last push. Do this for me.
Come on, Climbot.
Don't do that to me. Turn back on. Come on!
Come on, Climbot. You're so close. We're so close to our goal here.
Piece of trash! Just get to work! I'm not asking much of you. Do your job! Turn back on! On! Ah!
No, Climbot. Our baby. Our baby bot. He's been with us all this time.
Robot, please. Please, please, please don't do that. Just turn back on. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do this to you.
You know what? We continue with Climbot. We make it to the top with our homies. Yeah, unfortunately, one thing I've noticed in my group of friends and other people in my life is a lot of them seem complacent just where they are, never trying to learn or try new things, which isn't a bad thing in itself. I think a person should never be happy just not knowing how to do something if it's not that hard to figure out. Oh yeah. I fully agree. Like, life is all about the journey, baby. Like, that's one of the reasons I love playing games like this, specifically. Is I feel like
Just a few more meters.
it showcases like this story of like, hey, everything is about the journey. It is not about the destination. And when you make it all about destination, it's just like, okay, well, you're gonna have a boring journey. You're gonna live a less interesting life simply because you so desire just a little bit of easy dopamine. I don't want that. I want challenging experiences. I want to be somebody that continues to grow. If I were the same person I was 10 years ago, I'd be a terrible person. It's because of that like personal growth and that personal fulfillment of finding new things and like experimenting and finding more about myself that I feel happier and I feel more empathetic and I feel more like life has that joie de vivre to it, you know? I think in the end there's more to this planet than just what the next WWE pay-per-view is going to look like or what the upcoming video game is the next month. Yes. You need to find joy in the moment to moment, in the day to day. Like, routine is good for the mental health and like developing yourself.
You've got this, Climbot.
But if all you are is the routine, just waiting for something new to come by, then you live a pretty unfulfilling life, a pretty unhappy life. You see the years go by going like, where did it all go? What was I doing? It's one of the reasons that I started streaming on Twitch again. It's just like seeing all of these different people doing it, and just like I find the more that I learn about myself, the more that I'm like, I am a people person. I was just in a situation where I wasn't comfortable expressing myself. I didn't realize how much people actually meant to me, so I hid away and I lived a very unfulfilling existence, just waiting for the next good thing to happen. And now I feel like I'm making good things happen for myself and hopefully for other people. It's why I want to try and do art more. It's why I want to try and do like concerts. I want to experience art. I want to feel art. I want to feel emotion, and I want to see the journey that other people have too, and be able to iterate on it and iterate upon what it means to be a person. And every day I come into more feeling of like, you know, I'm not the happiest with the person that I've been, but I feel good about the person I'm becoming and the person that I am in the moment. And that's what it's all about. Every day I take a step forward and I say, okay, what's my journey going to be today? It's why I've been streaming for, 83 days straight? Well, not days straight, but 83 days. Definitely one important thing to note. You shouldn't dwell on too much in the past and just look more towards the future. Agreed. I think completely ignoring the past is an ignorant fool's errand. Because there is something to learn there, but dwelling on it too much and you're always looking to the past and you can never see what's in front of you. You can never see what the good things can be in your life. Took ages to actually get my degree, but I'm finally almost there, and it doesn't really matter to me that it took so long. Yeah. Like you're putting in the effort. And you're becoming the person that you want to be. Got it done, and next I'll tackle something else. Exactly. There's always something more to be done. There's always something new to set yourself towards. There's always another step forward on the journey of life. Taking a step back and being content in what you have it's a good skill, but you also need to be able to say, like, where am I going from here? To bring it back to the game, like, yeah, we reached the top of this mountain, but what happens after that? It's not like we can just stay on the top of the mountain forever. With every ascent, there must be a descent. And with every descent, like, it inevitably comes down to you will make an ascent again. Every hill has a valley, and every valley has its hill. We ride the wave as long as we can. Here, I'll be part of a whole. Why not? Sure, let's climb the stars. So I did the Leave the Mountain with Marco ending yesterday. And well, this is a very impactful ending. I feel like it is not the good ending. Gotta say though that I couldn't do the whole university thing ever again. So many nights spent trying to learn something that seems like a completely impossible subject or concept. Yes. a lot of university for me was just trying to learn so much. And just completely floundering in just higher education as a whole because of how it's set up. I do dig this track for sure. And then we launched into the sky, landing as a star amongst so many others. Feel this game is made for exactly this, where it kind of takes a backseat towards chatting on Twitch. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, so much of it is just, okay, here's my next handhold, here's my next handhold. Gotta actually, like, talk about things. Other than that, otherwise it just really runs its course. Here, let me see what your last message was, too. So much math, for example, where I think I can barely learn this when it's laid out like this. So how goddamn smart do you have to be to actually be the guy who came up with this stuff? Yeah, like, I don't have the mental capacity for that. That's just, my brain is not made for that. I'm not the kind of person that can sit here and go like, yes, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life trying to create this equation and like figure out these completely abstract concepts. It also makes me go, people say that neurodivergence didn't exist before now, but some guy sat around and spent his entire life like dedicating hyper focused onto this one concept or like these very specific concepts, and they're like, oh yeah, he was just a little quirky. Like, come on, that guy that guy definitely had some neurodivergence, and he furthered humanity because he was different. I can work myself through a lot of university math, but some of it required a lot of work. Oh yeah, like higher education math and like a lot of these abstract concepts, it's just so alien initially that it takes, like, it's this slow ramp into this ever ascending peak of knowledge, and it just gets more and more abstract the further up you go. It's fascinating stuff, don't get me wrong. I don't find the same kind of joy from it. Like, I'm much more of an abstract thought kind of person where it's just more of a philosophy, psychology, kind of like humanities individual, where it's like, sure, all of these, we need math, we need the sciences, we need all of this like renewable tech, but we can't neglect the person behind all of that. And I've seen myself sort of as a support staff kind of individual, where it's like, I'm here for the everybody else. I'm here to be like a hearth tender. I'm here to be the fire keeper. I'm here to be the cook. I'm here to be the person that makes sure that you have, that everybody that is super interested in the big stuff, I'm there to hold them up. I'm the support beams behind it, where I can sit here and go like, oh yeah, I'm here to be entertainment. I'm here to be somebody for the other people in the world, because what matters to me is everybody else. One thing I found to be a bit sad about is that in the end you can only study so much stuff. Yeah. You only have so much time and so much neuroplasticity that it can be very difficult. I became an engineer myself, but stuff like psychology would be an interesting field as well. That's the thing. We always need more people to be engineers, and we also need more people that are in these fields that actually understand what being human is like. Summit reached. Only 14 deaths, 123 falls, you know. Ascent over. Let's take a look at our route then. Would have loved to work somewhere in economics. Economics is such a strange field because at the end of it all, it is very much a field about human and humanity and the human connection, but specifically focused on money, which is a human concept in itself. I land somewhere between like economics is a field that is terrible for the world, because when we focus exclusively, shows the whole route you took as well. Yeah, you can follow it from point A to point B. Point B being the top, and can kind of see what you missed along the whole way. We're gonna follow it out. May as well. But yes, I'm always thinking back like, man, I hate I hate humanities. Not humanities. I hate economics because it's this field that sort of shows the abstraction of human greed, and it really annoys me. Just because we don't need to, like, there is enough in this world that we could all benefit greatly. But there's also so much greed about it all, you know? Amazing game where I think the thing that really does it is how great it looks. Oh yeah, the stylization for this game really does it wonders. If they tried to go for like pure just pure, it's next gen tech, it looks incredible. it would really lose a lot of the appeal. The cell shading and like simplistic designs that focus on like shadow and light, it really adds a lot of beauty. It adds a whole lot of uniqueness to the game. Like, I love all of the character designs. I love just how gorgeous, like, this looks. Can I do photo mode? No. Just, like, the reflections... Here, let's get a little bit more artsy in here. Like, how many games do you see that focus on this kind of stuff? Where it's real, it's stylized realism. Where you see this beautiful valley surrounded by, or this beautiful mountain surrounded by other mountains in this valley. And then you have these little details of like, yeah, there's the trout swimming around. There's insects, there's leaves. It really makes me want to go outside. It makes me want to go climb. It makes me want to go find my own peak that I can ascend in my own way. Just an absolutely gorgeous game, too. I love it. Like, every element of it, I think is fantastic. I think this might be a 9 out of 10 for me. I'm trying to think what would stop it from being a 10 out of 10. And I think I'm coming up blank on that. It feels like the environments have enough to keep you interested, and there's enough like branching paths where it all comes back together and then it branches again and then it comes back together. Like I think this might be a 10 out of 10 for me, actually. The story, I love the story. Like, sure, it's not a perfect story, but it doesn't need to be more than it is. It owns what it is very much. And it says, hey, this is an experience that you go into. You get this experience. And you say, wow. Like, there's a couple of choices in it that really let you understand both Ava and Marco's characters more. And I love that. I love that it's a game that has a lot to say, and it says, okay, you can experience as much of that story as you want, or you can just go right to the top of the mountain and be like, I didn't really say I'm interested in anything more than that. I just want to climb the mountain. I'm going to climb the mountain. But every side character that I interacted with, I've talked about this a little bit, was a foil to Ava. Every side character shows that they too are, like, they do have this human experience. And hang on, does it show my... I did loop back down. Does it show that? Yep, that's my falling down trip. Anyways, each character shows different elements of Ava while still being their own character. And Marco is sort of her connection to being a human. And when she decides to continue on without Marco, she loses that extra little bit of humanity and like reaches to the top and then dies. Like you go to the star. You go to the stars. That's it. There's nothing more. You are now a star. And I find it interesting that towards the end here, I feel that the game was actually much easier generally. Like, I only fell a couple of times. Took 16 days. Like, towards the end, I didn't feel like it was that much more difficult simply because of the mechanics. I felt like it was the like limitations on everything else that it started applying. It was like, okay, you're down 2 more bars on pretty much everything else. Like, you're down to a third of what your other stuff is, but if you're preparing at all, you're fine. You walk away from it and you're like, okay, well, if we look at my inventory, or if we could look at my inventory, it was still mostly full. Anyways, that was Cairn. Beautiful game. I think I'm going to need to buy another copy of it. Just so that I can support the devs more. I think it might be intended that, especially toward the end, the climbing itself is really not the point of the game. You got it in one, baby. You got it in one. The climbing is just the medium for the story to flow. The story is all about Ava and her singular drive towards reaching the top of this mountain. And when you reach the story divergent point, or story divergence point of you stick with Marco and you go back down being like, actually, this will kill me. There's no shame in being able to say, I'm taking a step back. I'm going to go live my life. As was discussed earlier, the gameplay kind of, anyway, just works as a distraction when you're chatting on Twitch. Yes, this was a perfect Twitch game. I think that if you like put any amount of effort into the climbing, it goes by pretty fast. But if you're paying attention to the story and everything too, it has a lot to say. It has a lot to say about the human experience and like, hey, remember, you can be focused on a goal, but if you're focused on that goal exclusively, that's all that your life becomes. That's all your death becomes. Beautiful game. I'm walking away from it. Yesterday I finished the Marco ending and I was like, okay, cool. You know, we'll see if I come back to the game and actually do the Ascent ending, but because if you do the Marco ending first, you can come back and do the other ending. I was like, actually, I guess that's what I'm doing tomorrow too. / today now. So coming to it and just, I mean, we finished that in what, like 2 hours? That's not bad at all. Sorry, I need to hydrate. But yeah, like, if I were to take Ava's perspective on all of this, she has so much like running through her head at all times, or would have so much to run through her head at all times as she's climbing the mountain. It's just you have nothing but the wind to really keep your mind focused. Your mind and your thoughts. Your mind, the wind, the thoughts. She would have so much time to reflect, like, do I really understand what I'm doing this for? Do I really understand what I want to do this? Like, sure, the first goal of the game is like, okay, we're doing it for what was it? Chris calls and is like, "Ah, yes, Ava, tell me how the ascent is going." Like, we're doing it for money purposes, but Ava obviously wants to do it because she wants to do it. She's a climber through and through, but if she were doing it just for like the clout or the money, she probably would have quit as soon as her camera broke, which is right off the bat. So there's that. You see that she wants to do it. The money is just like an excuse to keep living your life on top of that. Anyways, let's close the game up. What do I have? What else do I have to do for half an hour? We're at kind of an awkward point here. Well, this is kind of an unfortunate place to be. I don't really have any good games to play 30 minutes of. You know what? Hang on. Spouse messaged me. Oops. Let's say hi on that. You know what game we do have? We have a Binding of Isaac. I can play one run of. Oh, I have 1,224 hours. Okay, well. Mountain climbed. Don't stop till we get to the top. We'll just switch over to Binding of Isaac. We're on file 2, right? I was just trying to get Mom's Heart completions, right? I think that's what we were doing. It's been so long anyways. So, got 3K hours in Slay the Spire myself, so no judging here. Oh yeah, Slay the Spire, also a fantastic roguelite. One of the goats for sure. I gotta get reacclimated to Isaac. It's been so long now. I definitely want to play Slay the Spire 2 soon. That game, from what I've seen, I've been trying to keep myself relatively limited in the amount that I play it or see other people play it, just because I want to sort of experience it firsthand. Because I know I'm going to get it. Like, Mega Crit, they know what they're doing. I trust them. Yeah, I'll take Spider Baby. It's not like I have a whole lot of option. I just find it impossible to focus on lectures, especially, so I started playing Slay the Spire while keeping my focus on them. So I was able to trick myself into watching hours upon hours of lectures with that. I'm very much in the same camp of like, I have to be doing, if I'm just listening to somebody, I I just start getting antsy. I'm like, what? I gotta be doing something else too. Like with my hands, I gotta be doing something. The lecture on the main monitor, autopiloting Slay the Spire on the second. Game itself requires no actual decision making for me when I've played for a couple thousand hours. Oh yeah. Like you when you've played for that long, it becomes a matter of what am I actually doing? Like the decisions are automatic. Except for like maybe if you want to mix up a deck, if you want to mix up a run. I mean, I'm not very good at Slay the Spire. I don't think I put a ton of hours into it. Actually focusing on like what will allow me to win. I think the best I understand is like Ironclad, and that's somewhere between getting lucky with limit breaks and like strength pumping and like a heavy blade or something. But even then, that doesn't work with every build or with every instance. Yeah, we'll just take all these pills. Why not? Tears up, and not quite. Anyways, for a long time, Binding of Isaac was my like autopilot game while I do something else. But obviously that you know, only 1.2k hours means that I'm still not as good as many other people. But hey, I don't need to be perfect. I'm me. I can aim for improving myself. Aiming for perfection is a fool's errand. Do we have any tinted rocks here? Nope. Oh, good. These pills were useless. Unless I come across a good spacebar item, in which case they were less useless. Really, just losing the luck is kind of the issue there. Finally got to start looking into something new because there's no more lectures to watch. That's a good point. Got to find an excuse to keep playing Slay the Spire. Could dedicate yourself to learning a little bit more. Figure out a new hobby to dive into. Get the beginner grade of that. Bless me. Guess the best possible excuse is the fact that Slay the Spire 2 came out. Haven't gotten it yet. I figured I will once the degree is 100% complete. That's a good place to go with that. Say it's a reward. I mean, it's in early access right now anyways, so I think it's going to get a couple of changes. The first game got plenty of changes before full release anyway, so it's just like, okay, well, you skipped out on the part where things are more imbalanced generally. Pretty much nothing else left. Just finishing up my master's thesis. Yo, congrats on the master's. You said that you went into renewable energies, right? What's the official title on that degree? I do always commend people that put in that extra effort to get the masters, because it is not easy. It is not easy being a full-on graduate. Great question. Stuff is hard to translate into an international level. Just give me the basics. It doesn't need to be anything too complicated. Master's in engineering, where my main area of study is bio-based products. Oh, okay. So like bio-renewability. Here, let's put this down here. Such as wood and other renewable materials, yeah. Okay. That's a super interesting one. I am a huge fan of focusing on like biorenewable stuff. Dipped my toes a bit into growing stuff in reactors like yeast and penicillin and stuff. Okay. That's super fascinating. I find myself really interested in a lot of the like particularly Japanese methods of like biorenewability. Like what is it? Kitsugiri? Is that the proper term? Of like effectively carbonizing wood so that it's less mold resistant and less you know what? Re-roll me. Oh, that's not very good. Well, whatever. Anyways, like Kitsugiri and the effect of carbonizing wood, and just the idea of it's another concept that I can't fully remember the name of. It's effectively making it so that trees will regrow their their branches straight up so that you get a more consistent wood. I think you mean the other way around, where you'd like to make the wood more mold resistant. That is what I mean. Thank you for correcting me. No, it's all about like carbonizing the wood so that it's mold resistant, rot resistant. Like Kitsugiri, I find myself fascinated by all of these different Japanese methods because they lived in that different environment, as I've been discussing a ton here. They lived in that different environment where like they didn't have great iron, so they didn't do a whole lot of metallurgy. The Flinding of Isaac. What's up, Bo? Welcome back. We do be flinding Isaac. What was I saying? really, I love the idea of using more natural everything in our world rather than just like relying on plastics. Am I mold resistant? You don't live in J.K. Rowling's house, right? I'd imagine not, considering I think she might be. No, I don't, thank God. Yeah. I feel like being uh in the UK gives you a mold resistance buff. If I was in J.K. Rowling's house, she would be keeping me for torture and torture only, like medieval style. Just the idea of like, ah, yes, this is my torture servant. I keep them around exclusively, non-consensual, by the way. Oh, of course. In case you were worried. Oh, I know. I can make some. Look, you know what they say about assumptions. It makes an ass out of you and me, but also I feel like using a little bit of the knowledge that you have on somebody to be like, I feel like I can make an educated guess about this person that it would not be a pleasant thing. It would not be for pleasure. Of this transgender man? Surely he means consensual, right? Surely this trans man would love to be tortured by J.K. Rowling, a notorious TERF. It's just those. Don't get me fucking started. I'm gonna get started. It's these motherfucking billionaires that continue to propagate this culture war so that they can make more money by effectively doing the pickpocket strat of look over there, while they pilfer your pockets. I'm gonna get started if you get started. I we've been talking about stuff that I am passionate about already. Yeah, we go with the Tech X. That's a run winner right there. Like, I'm all about environmental sustainability, and those fucking the billionaires, they say no. Give me as much money as possible. Please, you guys don't understand. I need my fifth jet. I need my fifth turbojet. I don't care if it ruins the fucking planet. I need it though. It means that I can get to Guam 6% faster. Fuck you. You don't get it. I need my 20th helicopter. You know what? I'll let you get your 20th helicopter. But the entire time I'm going to be praying that you end up like Kobe Bryant. Quick, look over there. It steals your fucking livelihood. Yes. It's exactly that. Quick, look over there. That person is being paid worse wages doing the same job as you. They're going to take your money. They're going to take your job. Never mind the fact that I'm the one paying them and you. Fuck right off. You just you being the billionaires, of course. Or the rich. Eat the rich, by the way. I don't care. Nobody watches my fucking stream anyways, so I can say what I want here. Never mind the fact that it's actually me who's gonna steal your job and your money. Yeah, like they have to keep us distracted because if anybody actually takes the time to think about, hey, what the hell are these people doing? They go, oh, they're doing the thing that they're claiming that everybody else is doing. They're they're doing the whole oh, what is it? Streaming takes up 30% of my, well, 30% if I'm lucky. Streaming takes up 90% of my brain power. Anyways, so I always got to be searching for the right words here. Pardon my my inability to actually find the proper words quickly. When is the MittsEnd eugenics stream? I will be playing eugenics. I gotta wait until next paycheck though. I will I'll stream at least a couple of them just for you, Bo. The concept at least is fascinating to me. Just the I love I mean XCOM itself is it's super fun. And then throw in like the what is it, like Fire Emblem? Is Fire Emblem the one that people like really stuck around with? Anyways, Fire Emblem Awakening? I think that's the one that people were like, I get to make I get to be matchmaker. I get to make fun pairings of like character concepts, and then their children come back and help me. I think that's Awakening. Anyways, yes, that is a super fun concept. So Mugenics, iterating upon that, I mean, Mugenics was like after Repentance, for sure. Anyways, like Edmund has had that idea on the back burner for like a decade now. It's just finally setting Isaac down for long enough to pursue that other goal. I know a lot of people are like, haha, Mugenics, the stinky fart Newgrounds game. It's like, yeah, that's Edmund's style. You see what games he's put out. Would you expect anything different? It's like going to the poop factory and being like, what do you have today? Oh, you have poop again. Man, I was hoping for anything but poop. But poop. Like, come on. You know what you're signing up for with an Edmund McMillan game. Man made Super Meat Boy and like Binding of Isaac. What other games has he made that let's do the inverse here. Has he made any games where he hasn't had this sort of quirky art style and quirky like humor? I'll wait for the answer, but I think we both know that it's no. Like he's a little bit of a quirk chungus, but nothing against it. That's the art style that he's leaned into, and as he's talked about numerous times, like it's because of his own life experiences that it's developed that way. Is it all for me? No. But it's not for me. It's for the artist. It's always for the artist. They're the ones making it. If they're doing it exclusively for other people, they're gonna lose the soul of the art. Like you've seen gaming. We've all seen gaming these last numerous years. We end up with Fortnite. We end up with Fortnite doing all of this. I'm gonna take the wafer. Where it's just watered down into What's the most approachable by the biggest audience? We're gonna have every single media property in it. And like, sure, the game can be fun. I'm not saying that it can't be. Although I haven't played it and derived much joy from it personally. I'm much less of a battle royale enjoyer nowadays. I just I don't really find like, it's also a little unapproachable from a gameplay perspective. It's like, okay, if I gotta play no build. Otherwise, I end up with, what is Wiggle Worm? Oh, that actually looks great. Looks like it'll hit more. Anyways, like I gotta jump through 13 different hoops just to play Fortnite. I gotta jump through 13 different hoops to be able to play it and have fun. And then as soon as I stop playing against bots, I'm gonna be like, wait a second. I'm in the Skinner box. I can do anything but be in the Skinner box now, and I'd have more fun. Like, streaming it, I could probably have fun, but that's because I find enjoyment from streaming it and like trying to make entertainment for other people. Trying to derive joy uh from what I think is going to be the silent enjoyers. Because nobody fucking chats playing Fortnite. They're like, oh, what did you have for lunch today? I don't know. I had ice cream. What do you want from me? And yes, I did actually have ice cream for lunch today. For dinner, I had an actual meal. But I did have some chocolate Tillamook ice cream for lunch because I was a little stressed. I was a little stressy. I think this is going to be the perfect opportunity to use the sun card. Okay. Never mind. Don't need to. But yes, I did actually have I had an actual meal for dinner today. It was my previously mentioned leek soy rizo cabbage meal, which I gotta say, it feels great. It feels great eating a meal with that much greenery in it. I think I put like a total of 2 leeks in there. I cut off the top. I cut off the greens at the top because I was like, I want it to be a little. I want to save those for something. Make it more of a garnish because the rest of it, like, it's onion. It's an allium. It's gonna be good. But I really like the texture of leek. I've really come into appreciating the texture of leek and just like eating actual food that's got some roughage to it. Like, I love cabbage. I bought some cabbage at the store because I saw it and I was like, "Oh, it's not in a plastic container. It actually looks like a cabbage. Whoa, what a concept." And it's delicious. And then the tofu and soy rizo, they're just there for the protein, baby. Tiny Planet? Did that make it any weirder? Not really. I'm kind of glad that we took Tech X because Tiny Planet kind of sucks. Kind of sucks to play with. But yes, I need to incorporate more actual beans into my diet. We have so many black beans, I gotta run through them. We ended up buying like a 20-pound bag of them. along with a ton of rice. We actually go through the rice so fast. Rice is probably the most common grain in our household. Although I do love oats. I've been really coming around on the oat train as of late. Big fan, big fan. I've just been trying to integrate more things into my diet. Just more. Yeah, this is fine. Just trying to integrate more things that I haven't really tried previously into my diet because I find it more interesting. Variety is the spice of life, baby. And I'm trying to keep my life spicy. Or at least something a little spicier than I have previously. It's important to branch out, try new things. And I don't think there's ever going to be a time in my life where I ever encounter oh no, I've run out of new things to try. Waiter, waiter, my lobster is too juicy, my steak too buttery. If I ever reach the point where like, oh, new things, I don't need to try new things anymore, I might as well be dead. I'm not growing, I'm not becoming anything new. Come on. The last I don't know how long now. I'm going to say about 10 years. I've really been trying to try new things. Like for a while I was just like, I'm not a big fan of Thai food. Every Thai dish that I've had is just not very good in my approximation. But the more that I have, the more I'm like, actually, this shit slaps. Like a Thai curry, sure it's different than an Indian curry. It's different than like what you might imagine a curry to be, but to me, I find a great deal of joy from trying these new things. And like I found that I've come around on a Thai curry. It's a little sweeter typically. The coconut milk like really comes out. But the spices, like if you get more authentically spiced foods, they taste so good. Like sure it makes my nose run and it makes me a little silly. Like I like the heat builds up, but the heat builds up in such a way that I find a lot of joy from. Like it's taken me a hot minute now to get good spicy stuff. Like a good level of spice tolerance. Substituted coconut milk with Greek yogurt back when I tried one of those. Yo, that sounds like a great sub actually. That sounds like a great way to work with what you have instead of going to the store and being like, well, I guess I better get the thing that it suggests. Like, sure, the recipe may not turn out as well as it would have, but instead you're learning more like cultural fusion. Like, this is cultural fusion. Killed the Blowjob Brothers again? Hell yeah, Daft. I'm proud of you. Are you guys getting the pattern down? Am I gonna fight Hush? No. That'll just be it. Got gloves, yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, that's our tenth win too. Still died on the last poll though. That's a bummer. But hey, you're learning. And that's what we've been talking about all stream today. This is also the perfect time. Glad to see you stop by. This is actually where we're going to stop off today. But thanks everybody for coming and watching. Thank you, Daff, for stopping by at the last minute. I'm glad that you got Blowjob Brothers defeated. And yeah, I'm just gonna. Who do we want to raid today? Is Germa streaming? Should I try and read? Should I try and raid Germa? Holy shit! No, I know who I'm raiding. Brungo is playing Omicron: The Nomad Soul. Probably one of the worst games of all time. So that's what we're gonna raid today. Thank you everybody for stopping by. If you liked the stream, I'm live just about every day at about the same time. So hit the follow button. But go say hi to Brungo. Tell them I hope that your suffering is minimal, because that game sucks shit. Anyways, have a good night. I appreciate all of you very much, and I hope that you have a good one. Bye.